Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the latest episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Broken Promises. And I gotta tell you, I really like this episode. It really is showing how S.H.I.E.L.D's kind of coming into its own. Because usually you get one kind of conflict in the beginning of the season, and then we get some kind of other kind of different conflict in the second half. This seems to be that we've gotten a better kind of build and that Marvel movies will kind of still introduce blips, but it'll be more kind of organic. Now, granted, we haven't seen much in the way of like the Doctor Strange movie introducing any blips into this season yet, but we don't know. But this start for the second half has been shown to continue stuff with the Darkhold. And to that effect, we got three kind of main storylines in this episode, pretty much dealing with the Darkhold and Ada with like Coulson and his team. We've got Daisy, Mac, and Simmons dealing with like Senator Nadir's situation, and we get Senator Nadir and her brother VJ, who was the person in the cocoon. So with this, we kind of start off with Ada after the battle with Eli Morrow kind of like working on herself, getting a new outfit together and all that. And it's really kind of interesting to see how it's different for an android versus a human, because she's like looking at it and all the bullet holes and all that and not really reacting. And it takes on a different kind of feel and kind of showing kind of what her state is and how she kind of views these things at the moment, because that becomes important as we kind of see her progression throughout this episode. She's talking to May, saying that she's sorry that this is kind of uncomfortable. She'll find more fitting accommodations for her, but she needs to secure something first. And then we start getting to see what this is all kind of about and what the May Life Model Decoy's kind of objective is. And it's kind of interesting to see that May LMD and her reactions and her interactions with the main S.H.I.E.L.D. team, because she's got to suss out certain information to make sure that she's believable, make sure that she's not overt about it to the point of being suspicious. So then we kind of get to see that Mace is trying to make sure that the Darkhold is secure and wants Radcliffe and Fitz to wipe Ada's hard drive to get that information out of there. It's like Fitz is kind of against it because he's like, she's pretty much a being, an entity. It's kind of wrong to do that. It's akin to like killing her. Radcliffe's like, no, we gotta get that information out of her head. We gotta make sure that it's safe and secure. And Mac's like, we gotta watch out because when you make robots like this, they're always gonna turn against you and kill you. And seeing him with that throughout the whole episode was great and very well done with like his dialogue and all the cool snippets that he had throughout. And it's just, I didn't take Mac for that kind of like, oh, the robot apocalypse. Yeah, I take that seriously, but this is a world after Ultron who did try to initiate a robot apocalypse kind of thing. And it's like, okay, that's a pretty credible threat now. Yeah. So everybody kind of splits off. We get to see that Simmons and Daisy are pretty much narrowed down that the dude in the cocoon is VJ, Senator Nadir's brother. So we get to see them kind of hatch that up, and they're trying to go get him because it's an Inhuman and they don't know what's going on with him. They want to make sure that he's safe. And then we get a little bit more information on that front. We see VJ talking with his sister, and he had this weird dream with this explosion, and find out that that's how their mom died in the Chitauri invasion, and that's the last house that their father had designed before he died, and kind of like trying to see what kind of powers and abilities VJ had after being exposed to the Terran Genesis. And that was pretty good and well done. It kind of gave more meat to both characters. Like, okay, I can kind of see what's going on here. But then we also get going and seeing that the Watchdogs are involved because Nadir made a promise to VJ that both of them, if they either got infected, they'd take the other out. And it just really goes to show the like xenophobia that she has. And it's like, this is your brother. He's still looks the same, and he's still the same person. And you're just gonna go like that. I mean, wow. And seeing the like hit almost happen, he's like, listen, I don't have any other abilities. I don't have scars, nothing. I fought it. You told me to fight it for 7 months. I did. And it's like, okay, we'll have to see what goes on with this. So then we get to see all the kind of stuff going on with Ada at S.H.I.E.L.D. She pretty much does a pretty good tactical job of getting in by getting into the system and shutting it down and going kind of crazy, because we got some good fight scenes before that, because when Radcliffe and Fitz were going to like wipe her, she went kind of crazy angry robot and smacked Radcliffe, smacked Fitz, and was like bringing up things like, why would you do this? Why would you kill me? I was your shield. And bringing up those kinds of things. And they're thinking, okay, she's got emotions and everything. This is a whole nother level. And they're trying to figure out what she wants. And figure out that she wants the Darkhold. And she's able to get in, use the May decoy to see and gather intel and figure out that the Darkhold is in Mason's office. So she's able to get it and almost escape. And we see that Mac had gotten Yo-Yo and another team, and they were outside while Ada was controlling a Quinjet. He's like, this is what I'm talking about, man. Rolling Apocalypse, I've got a special provision in my life insurance for this. And Yo-Yo's like, really? And you're like, yep, my brother's gonna be a rich dude. And then talking about all this stuff, Yo-Yo's like, haven't they seen any like American movies from the 80s? This is always what happens. It's like, it was cool that she had the same kind of reaction that Mac did. And them talking about all that, saying that they have to show Radcliffe Terminator films, even Salvation, because he's brought this upon himself. And it's like, oh my god, really cool. And I'm glad that they've also kept Mac's shotgun axe. And just showing that kind of thing, that he's got this go-to weapon, he's made it for a specific purpose, and it was used. Because Fitz and Radcliffe were able to get Ada out of the system, and she's going on this speech that the Darkhold gave her feelings and all that stuff, and that's why she's got this. And then Mac comes through the door and slices her head off, and Fitz is like, holy shit, her head's on the floor, and it's like, not thinking that she's a robot or an android, but that she's a person. And just seeing Mac do his like one-liner, roll credits, and then fist bumping with Yo-Yo, it was just like, those are the character moments and the good dialogue that we need. And then we see Fitz kind of messing with Ada and all that, and we find out that it wasn't Ada that was behind it. Radcliffe wanted the Darkhold. He saw the information in the Darkhold and knew he had to act like he didn't want it, that he had to play the long game, that he was making Ada act like that, and he had another model, and that May and the life model decoy that they created of her were the purposes to get the Darkhold if, I guess, this Ada had failed. And it's like, holy shit, that's some big stuff. And it just shows the corrupting power of the Darkhold on people. Now, it shows that Ada really wasn't probably infected with it or corrupted with it, but more going along the lines of what Radcliffe wanted, because she was able to read it and understand things, so she was probably able to relay this stuff to Radcliffe, and he's like, this is what we need to do. Because he's searching for pretty much immortality. It still goes with his, like, hubris, his, like, arrogance that he knows what's best that we had when we first saw him, but also his goal of trying to help people. And those put together form a dangerous combinations in where he could do anything, pretty much, to justify his end goal. And that's going to be a really interesting conflict going forward, because it's now kind of a shadow game with him and S.H.I.E.L.D., and S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't even know it yet. And that's pretty much how we wrapped up that kind of arc. And we got to see, like, Mace and Daisy and Simmons trying to find out where Senator Neer was. We got to see Simmons do some more show growth as an agent and kicking the ass of the aide of Senator Nadir to like trace the phone call to figure out where she's at, and seeing the dialogue between Daisy and Mace, how like, oh yeah, this is like the third time she's been kidnapped. And he's like, really? Yeah, this is the second time on Earth. And he's like, what have I really gotten myself into here? Granted, he's an Inhuman, and he's fought for his country and all that, but seriously, the core group of characters we've been following have been through a lot of shit. And Simmons especially, and she's really starting to be getting into her own, and not just being the smart one, being able to capably handle herself and do things on her own, and it's just really cool to see that kind of thing happen. So they go to Senator Nadir's house, and at first she's like, oh, that's not here, and that's, get the hell out of my house. So while this is going on, the head watchdog gets information from this person called the Superior, who seems to be the head of the watchdogs or has some kind of influence with them. We don't know too much more information, but he said to kill the Inhuman. So they go to try and kill VJ against Nadir's orders, and he starts... At first you would think it's like super speed like yo-yos, but I think it's more of an enhanced reflex mode. Because he wasn't going as fast as Yo-Yo, but he was able to really use different kind of moves to kind of effectively combat these highly trained soldiers. And he did a real good job doing all that, and then of course Mace and Simmons were like, okay, come with us, we'll help you. And he's like, so you don't hurt Inhumans, but are all of them agents? Are they forced to be agents? But Simmons is like, no, you have a choice. Then of course his sister comes and is like, listen, just come with me, we're good, and he decides to go with his sister. So they take off in a helicopter, and of course Nadir decides to end their brother's life. Shoots him, and then throws him out the helicopter at the end. And of course there's a weight tied to him, and we see him floating in the going down in the water. I'm like, crap, it kind of sucks because they've been building up this character, and I'm like, at first I thought it was going to be a throwaway character, but then we see that after he hits the bottom of the water, another cocoon forms. And it's like, okay, what's his power? Second metamorphosis. He could come out even more changed. Is this a guy who can... Is his power adaptability? Will he, after this death, be harder skinned to reflect that kind of bullet damage or whatnot? Will he be stronger? Will he have water capabilities? Be able to survive underwater since he is now underwater? That kind of stuff is really kind of cool and opening up what kind of things Inhumans can go through. Because each time we see an Inhuman, they're a little bit different, they got a little different power, and this just keeps adding on the lore and the mythos, and I really like that, and it's really well done, because you want to watch out how you do cliffhangers. You don't want to make your audience seem like, ha, every time, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. You want to be able to tease it and be like, okay, we've got a little something, this isn't just the end, let's see where this goes. And that's what I really liked about that, and where we're going to see with like Ratcliffe as well. Those are going to be some big things, and I can't wait to see where they go. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.